we go. All right, we're back again. It's Monday. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I did. I had a very, very fun weekend with all the market action that was going on out there. I don't know if you guys were paying attention or if you're living under a rock, but we got a lot of the things that I've been talking about for a long time actually transpiring here. And I know what it is. People are always, well, it didn't happen immediately, so it's not going to happen. Hold your horses. I don't know if you guys remember what I said or not, but when we talked about it last week, I said that I thought that oil priced in yen needed to be above 12.5 or 13,000 in order for the Bank of Japan to have to move. Well, we got a lot more than that on Sunday night. It went all the way up to almost 18,000 yen per barrel, and we dumped back down over the last day here. But Japan is waking up right now. Markets in South Korea are already collapsing again. Stock market in Japan's down, or sorry, not Japan, but in China's down 5+% at the open. This isn't going away. You know, once you have inflation in an economy, these things take a little bit of time to play out. I would like them to move very quickly also, believe me. But what I'll say is, all of the conditions are still being met for the reverse carry trade to unwind, for the Bank of Japan to come out and have to raise interest rates, which is exactly what we need in order for everything to continue to unfold here in the domino theory that I've been talking about for 2 years. So be patient, give it a little bit of time, and I'm confident that we are going to continue to see these macroeconomic events continue to transpire, which leads to, the price appreciation for XRP. So that's where I want to start it tonight. There's a lot of people asking out there on social media. Everybody wants a minute-by-minute update on things. We're still running, almost $1 billion asset management business, and we have, over 3,000 clients, and I've still got board meetings and all kinds of stuff that I have to attend on a daily basis, coordinating partnerships, working with a lot of our vendors and everything else. So I wish I could give you guys a minute-by-minute update, but unfortunately, I get on social media and share what I can when I can. I try to respond to a few people's comments. My wife does a good job on getting back to most people, and obviously we have these twice a week. Get on here for free, my own time, and spend it with you guys, and I enjoy it. Always ask a lot of really good questions. We have a lot of good people show up and partake. And again, appreciate you taking time out of your Monday night to come hang out with me over here on Facebook, X, TikTok, and YouTube. We'll get to Instagram one day when we figure it out. So without further ado, we'll jump into the questions. I did want to start off with an announcement. So I let the mastermind know this a little bit ago because that's when the promotion was live. But for you guys that are out there watching on the live, or for those that watch back this later, we have a special for y'all. So 2 things. Last year we ran a couple specials in May and June. This time we're doing it here in March. So I know everybody that watches this probably has XRP and some other digital assets, but we do have the Bitcoin product that we've launched. So if you're going to bring over more than 1.1 million in Bitcoin, we're dropping the minimums down to 40 basis points. And the bigger deal, that I think personally, is we're dropping the minimum to $100,000 in crypto for Digital Wealth Partners. So if you had 20,000 XRP and you got some HBAR and you got some XLM, and your aggregate total, including maybe even your IRA, all crypto, is over $100,000, you can get institutional custody at Anchorage with an advisor and all the benefits that comes along with that. And obviously we'll continue to roll out products for people that don't quite meet the accredited status. We did that inside of the IRA product. There's an algorithmic trading product that's already live. We have the first cohort of people, about 100 people, I think about 14 million XRP being put into that strategy to continue to compound and aggregate their strategy based on trading. And then beyond that, we're going to continue to roll out other products. You know, I was talking to the mastermind earlier. I'm never going to talk about a product before it's ready ever again, because unfortunately a lot of the time frames get extended by our partners, and it's not anything that I'm doing or our team's doing. We've done everything we can to be proactive and get everything ready to go, and we have to sit around and twiddle our thumbs until other people make it a priority. So, not to say that our partners aren't great, because they are, and obviously there's a lot on their plate as well, but good things do take time. But my wife is just bringing me all kinds of crazy coffee cups now for you guys. So this is our Hogwarts Ravenclaw coffee cup that we got going on tonight. Appreciate her. She's wonderful. All right. So anyway, back to the special. If you guys do have over $100,000 in crypto and would like to work with Digital Wealth Partners, you can absolutely reach out. Just go to digitalwealthpartners.net and use the contact us form. This person says, bring back Bluey. We'll get Bluey on again. I like that coffee cup. It's not so great to drink out of because the face points at you when you hold the handle with your right hand. You have to drink it left-handed, which is... It is what it is. All right, we'll go ahead and jump into the questions. Again, appreciate you guys taking time out of your Monday night to come hang out here and ask these awesome questions. We got BGs. They say, Jake, thank you for all that you do. How does Japan's 8-month of oil reserves affect the unwind? Does this buy them time not to raise interest rates? Well, that's a good question, and apparently so, because we saw, the reaction in the market, and then we've seen this big move back down, over 5,000 yen in a very short period of time. They're hanging out around 13,000 yen per barrel, a little bit over that. But again, like I said before, that's the level at which I thought they were going to have to start acting, because that's a pretty significant amount of inflation that's happened in their economy in a very short period of time. I mean, they were up, 20%, 25% in energy costs, and that's exactly what I thought would, cause them to have to move. So we'll see how long that takes to permeate their economy and actually cause the inflation. And again, things are a little bit slower moving, right? It's not an instant deal. There will be costs that continue to creep up. You've already started to see that here at the gas pump in the U.S., but it's not at the peak of what it's going to be because the oil that's being pumped out of the ground now has to be shipped, has to go through, manufacturing, all of that stuff. And what's currently on the market will hit the market at higher prices when that happens. So that could be a couple weeks, it could be a month, it could be days. I don't know how long the Bank of Japan is going to hold out before they raise interest rates, but I do believe if the oil price continues to stay here and doesn't continue to drop or starts to reverse and go higher again because conflict escalates in the Middle East, there you go. It wouldn't take much at all. So I'm continuing to watch that. With South Korea looking like they're going to invoke some monetary action, and China also down 5% in their stock market this morning, feels like Japan is probably next on the hit list there for countries in Southeast Asia that are going to have to take action when their markets go haywire. So we'll continue to watch. The charts that I'm watching are the 10-year yield in Japan. It's currently hanging out of a 2.18, 2.2. As that spikes up closer to 3, that's when you're probably going to see the rotation out of U.S. Treasuries into Japanese Treasuries. Michael Gayad, another guy that I follow on Twitter that puts out great information, he's actually looking at the yield curve rising. And he was like, whoa. He's got a whole fund and a whole bet that U.S. Treasuries is going to be the safe haven asset when all of this plays out. I'm concerned about that for him, to be honest with you, because I think there's going to be a huge rotation out of U.S. Treasuries into countries' own sovereign currency and their own treasuries. The JGB or the bonds, issued by Japan. Why wouldn't you hold your own sovereign bonds if you could earn a good enough yield on it, right? So that's the risk, and that's why I think you're going to see, U.S. Treasuries in droves flow onto the market. There'll be huge amounts of selling pressure, and when that happens, you're going to see yield spike in, on the bond yield for us here in the U.S.